Welcome to this channel where we explore all things mycology and so much more. From a single nucleus to cultures we create, experimentation and innovation is never too late. Join me on this adventure where Fungal science plays.
Thank you for joining me today. Wow, it's been 10 days since we put our lion's mane inside the Martha, inside this 2x4 tent. So let's take a look and see how it's doing. And who knows, we still might get our spores, but time's running out. So let's take a look. Wow, we got some more growth. So over the last 10 days, this has been staying right around 65, 67 or so degrees. Humidity has been right around 98% and holding. I still haven't added any more water to the pads, so let's check on our lion's mane. So far, the zipper's been holding up. I'm really surprised that it allows me to just pull up on it like that. And then I just flip it over and tuck it on the top. So we got some water droplets. Can't get our hand underneath there anymore. Let's take a better look. See, there's a lot more growth on the tendrils, spines. So I think rechecking it for spores would be a good idea. And it's at the point now where it's not as, it could be the lighting right now, but it doesn't seem to be as white as it used to be. Like in the past 10 days, like this, all this has been grown. And you can see the water droplets. So I have an idea. We're going to exchange this one out.
The water droplets make it not favorable for collecting spores.
We're going to put another one in. I got a little container that I sanitized with isopropyl alcohol. We'll set that on top. And let's see where our lion mane sits now. We'll give it a
little shake.
Not going to see any more than that. So I figured maybe the white spores will show up on it. And then we also got this. Now we got a lot more room. So what my idea is, we're going to take a sample and put it on a slide just like we did before. I had a friend reach out to me and he described another way to do it. And I really want to give it a shot. And this is the perfect opportunity because we have visualization. That's definitely showing us a lot more growth. It's visual, size, and on the spines. So the next step is getting our sample. I decided to let it go 2 more days. And you can see we got some new growth there. Let's pull it out and take a better look. A lot bigger. A lot more growth. So, let's see if we can get some spores. So we're going to pluck. Let's see if this one here has got any spores on it. And let's get one way on the back side. So there's our samples. Now that we got our samples, let's head up to the microscope. So we're back upstairs, we got our samples, we're in front of the purified flow, and there's a few more things we're going to need. We're going to need a sterile syringe and needle. I got some sterile water. We're going to need some clean slides and cover slips. But first, I got something else to share with you. So let's put this down below for the meanwhile. Check this out. If you watched any of my previous videos, you might see I had a problem with my microscope. So I picked up this microscope.
I kind of panicked,
It was under 30 bucks.
so I got this one just in case.
It said that it would get up to 1,000 magnification. So I was like, well, let's give it a shot. Another reason I got this type of microscope is I have my screen for my Vivor microscope, and I'm pretty sure that this comes with software, and I was wondering if the software would be compatible with this, because the software that came with this is kind of limiting. So we'll give that a shot. So let's open it up and see what we got. So there's your model number. And it pretty much goes through everything. You got photo mode, video mode, playback, interface, some more information about it, and then right here, software download. So I'm running either Windows 11 or 10, and I already downloaded this on my computer. So after we get done setting this up, we'll see if it works. Alright. So this must be the adjuster. There's something might clip to something on the back. So let's get out the rest of the components. No way. Even a calibration slide ruler. Let's get our sterile water. So we got our sterile water. Clean slide, cover slip, and then our mushrooms. So what my friend told me was, if you take a drop of water, put it on your slide, and you use a fruit that produces the spores on the outside instead of having gills, that if you put a drop of water on a slide and then dip your tissue into that water, there should be a lot of spores on the tissue that I'd be able to observe in the water. So let's give it a shot. Four drops of water, and then we're going to grab our tissue.
The next time I try this, I won't allow the tissue to actually touch the slide.
And we just dab it in that water. If there's any spores on it, we should be able to see it.
I never thought that this would be a problem, being able to see through the slide with this type of microscope.
No, if you got a good eye, you might be able to, but being able to see right through and see the base right through it is kind of obscuring it. So this microscope isn't going to be good for this here.
I got a few other things to try with it, and I think it'll make a good addition to work in the field.
Yeah, we can just see right through to the base. Alrighty. So what we will do, we'll put this slide to the side, and we will use the big scope. So we got our slide. Let's put it in the microscope. Bring it into focus. So we got some particles on here. Not looking like spores. Let's go up a little bit more.
With the objective magnification.
Fungal tissue.
That tissue is because I accidentally touched the slide.
Alright, let's go in a little deeper. So I'm having a hard time seeing. So I wonder if we add a little bit of stain. So what I did is I put some stain up at the top of the slide and let it run down into it. Oh! There they are. Look at them all. There's a tissue. So we got spores. So I have an idea, but that's a lot of spores. Alright, so let's unplug our microscope. And we'll take our spores. Where's our syringe? And what we'll do, I'm just going to grab a bunch of them. I kind of grabbed them at the point where they ripped off, so I have the tops pointing down. So I'm going to blast it with some water, see if I can get some of these spores to drop. Oh, that one fell off. Hopefully we don't got no fungal tissue on that one. Switch this around to disperse it. So what my idea was, take the syringe and blast and spray the sample, and hopefully the water that fell in the Petri dishes will have some spores and they will germinate, and then we can start running the offspring. So I'll leave it at here today, and we'll let these possibly germinate, and we'll check on them in a couple days. But at least we know we got spores now. That's the main thing. So today is the big day for this lion's mane. It's going to be the centerpiece of our dinner. And you can see now that I gave it a little bit more oxygen, we're starting to revert back to the long tines again. And you can see kind of how it's acclimating back with adaptive growth. So what my plan here, now that we got these tines going on, and we did a spore drop on a slide and was able to see the lion's mane spores, there's another option that I didn't think of until recently where we could get our spores from. So what we got to do is we got to take a sample here. And now that we got new growth and old growth and adaptive growth, maybe we'll grab one of these spines and one of these areas, one of these new parts, and we'll take them upstairs and see if we can get some spores and another technique. So we'll grab down here. We'll grab a long spine there. We'll grab some growth off the top. Just getting some more options while I'm down here, but still keeping in mind what I'm trying to achieve. So I think that's good enough. So there's our samples. Now for cooking tonight, you can see we got basically like 2 pom-poms. So I'm thinking about taking one and maybe putting it in a pan, searing both sides of it, and then pressing it while cooking it. And the searing might not let the juices go back in and refine the texture and juices that are trapped between the sears. And this one here, I don't know, might do the same thing. Might try a breading. We'll start out with a basic first. So here's what my idea is. Got my Petri dish. I got like this wire tie. And I just set it underneath the plate. Bend a hook for it to sit. And then I'll set it in my container. And that allow me to have it upright on an angle that I choose. And we'll take some white petroleum jelly, and up here towards the top of our dish, we will take and put a dab of petroleum jelly to use it to adhere our fungal body with the spores above the agar on an angle. And what the idea is to hopefully it will sporulate, and when it does, it'll spread the spores on the agar that we can further isolate to their individual dishes depending on preferences and phenotypes. So let's get our other wire ready. So I'm just folding it in half, and I just twist this end together and then go down, just do little twists just to give it some rigidity. And then we fold it over, taking setting this up ahead of time. And then that will hang our plate at the angle. We got our plates ready. I really don't want to get this inside the dish. I don't want to put it on my finger and dab it, so let's try this idea. We'll take a syringe and needle, and then we'll customize it something. Might not get all three in there. Yeah, I'm not going to mess around with the third one. I'll take and add that to a jar. This is the first time I've ever tried doing this. Oh, I didn't think of that. It's going to touch the lid. Oh, well. So let's go and place the fungal tissue, the petroleum. So there's our washing on our petroleum. Where's our line? That's some good petroleum. So there's our fungal tissues on the lid. So we're going to put this right up so we don't have to, we got to wrap it first. But maybe we shouldn't wrap it, because then it won't have the air to, well, here we go. Let's wrap one and not wrap one. We'll just let it lean like that. And those spores should drop down across the plate. Let's do our second one. We'll put the drop further back here. Probably using way too much. But this is how we learn, right? And there's our second tissues. This time we won't get it on the dish. Look at that. Ready to be propped up. And this one, we're not going to wrap, but I think I need to secure it, though. I'm just going to take some grafting tape and just go around. Kind of like hold it. Because these are vented lids. You can see like the little, so that's going to allow the air to go in through. So there we go. We got both our dishes with our tissue supported above the agar. We got them at an angle. The dangle might change, but I think it looks good the way it is. So we'll see here in a week or so if we got any spores to grow. Who knows? It might end up in a future video. So in case you were curious, the software for the digital microscope works for my other digital camera that I normally use. And it works really good. Like we can still, let's take a look. We can scroll through all these spores. It shows them pretty good. And what's nice about it is like up over here, I can also increase the picture to even get even more magnification that I couldn't. And you got like a horizontal flip. You got gray, invert, flip invert, binary, emboss, and then all these down here. And like these are some pictures of some spores. that I took earlier. And this is also with the methylene blue slide. It was a, but it's a little dry right now, but I just wanted to, in case anybody was curious, that microscope software will work with other microscopes too. And this one here is an Amscope camera, and it works pretty good. So it's been exactly 7 days since we blasted our fruiting bodies with water over our Petri dishes. And you can see we got germination, and I've already been to work on both plates. So on this plate, I picked out one strong looking potential haploid. Kind of wishing I would have grabbed that one, but it was too close to that one. And then over here, I got 2 transfers, one up there and one down there. On one transfer, I got 2 spores together, and this one will germinate and mate to be able to fruit, where over here is going to be for more breeding. But I could also do a buller cross by using the dikaryon from this one to mate with the haploid over there. So that's the original plate. So we got a haploid on that one. This one's going to be a dikaryon, and we got a haploid over there. So I couldn't be happier. And now it's been 3 days since we put the plates with the fruiting bodies in the tub. And one thing I'm noticing right there, that's all new growth. So I was thinking it wasn't getting air, but it's continuing to grow. And I think it's pretty close to touching the plate. But I wasn't expecting it to keep on growing. And so the verdict's still out. You know, it took 7 days to get growth on the last germination when we did the spore drop. So maybe we just got to wait a little longer for this. And I'm okay with that. I'm very excited with the results from these spore collecting techniques that I haven't tried before. And it opens the door for more experiments to come. Now that we got our cultures all cleaned up, let's get working on that grain. So thank you again for joining me. If you have any questions or comments, leave them below. Please like and subscribe so you're notified. And I hope to see you soon. Have a wonderful day.